I dabbled in like way like that. This was like one of my most embarrassing things. I used to write Justin Bieber fanfic.
Hey guys, welcome to LoveCast, the Boys Love Podcast. I'm your host Pixie, and with me are my co-hosts Alexa and Kayla.
Hello.
So today we are doing another BL 101 about fan-made content. Before we start that, we are doing tea time. And today's topic is the Nanon was on the LGBTQ plus panel for GMMTV. And I actually didn't get the whole story. I do know that there was some coming out as straight stuff. I don't know more than that.
So I feel like there was two main things that kind of became an issue. So the first was that like in something he was answering, he straight up said that he was straight, and there was kind of like the fans who were like, oh my god, Nanon is straight, and then the fans were like, oh my god, you didn't know Nanon was straight. And so that became like a whole thing, and it was mainly like a joke, like, oh, Nanon came out as straight, he's so brave type thing, like kind of mocking coming out as like, you know, the way queer people have to come out. But there were definitely like some people who were actually like upset about it.
Yeah.
And then there was other people that were like, oh, he's so brave for being like open about it. And I'm like, he's straight, so like what's brave about that?
Like, that's like saying someone like are brave for being white. I mean,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's such a brave white man. Oh my god.
That's really what it's
It was
like.
really weird.
Yeah.
But then there was like the other half of it where there was one of his answers. I didn't get a chance to watch the full interview. It was only like 30 minutes, but there was this one line taken out of context where he was basically talking about since playing Pran and being in Bad Buddy, it's kind of changed the way he, you know, interacts with and views the LGBT community. And the particular line that got picked up and like kind of started circulating was he said something like, now if I see Piof, because Piof was on the panel as well, holding hands with his boyfriend, I don't think it's weird. And so people kind of got hold of that and were like, I don't know if they were saying like, I don't know, like I guess people were like shocked that like up until Bad Buddy, basically he was saying he still saw the LGBTQ community as otherly, and you know, it kind of got into Nanon was homophobic territory, which I think that's a bit of a stretch.
That's a little bit of a stretch. Yeah, I mean, especially when you have like a country like Thailand where it's not as open. Obviously, people who don't have straight contact with people in the queer community aren't going to feel as comfortable with it because they don't see it often, they don't talk about it, so it is otherworldly for them, and it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't be.
Yeah.
But it is. So I wouldn't call someone homophobic because of that.
Yeah, and you know, he in the context of the interview, you know, he was talking about how his perception has changed, and obviously he doesn't feel that way anymore. He doesn't view the queer community as any different anymore, and so, you know, I think at the end of the day, a lot of people were like, well, I'm glad that he no longer has those feelings and he's educated himself or come to a different point. But I guess it was more like shock that people didn't realize that he felt that way up until very recently.
Yeah.
And then Meta came out and said that it was a slight mistranslation and that like the no longer feel that way part was a little bit off, and so then
Hard to translate.
yeah, and that's what's the thing about that is like if one thing gets picked up and is already making its rounds, and then especially if you're doing live translations on something and it turns out the translation wasn't super accurate, then like the damage is kind of already done, which sucks.
What
Yeah.
I don't get here is that we have actors saying a variation of this all the time in BL, like that they
That's true. Yeah.
didn't understand like the queer community before they acted in BL and stuff. There are so many variations of these comments from BL actors. So, and I haven't seen anyone gotten like the backlash for that before. So, is this just like a rage of because he actually said straight out that like I'm straight, while other actors will like go around the issue
Yeah.
because
And now they can like really say, oh well, a straight boy said this, so it's like
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't think about that. Yeah.
Surprisingly enough, my thing about it had nothing to do with those two, I guess, issues that blew up. My first thought when I saw Nanon speaking at this event was, why did they choose
Why?
him
Yeah.
to speak
I
at
had
the
the
event?
same thought as well.
Because
yeah.
like they do have very few, but they do have LGBTQ plus actors and actresses, and it's like I don't blame Nanon for being there, like physically
Yeah. It's
not-
or
he's doing
speaking,
his
because
job.
it's not. Yeah, it's probably not his decision, but I don't know. I was just like, why?
Why him?
Why did they choose him? Because
Yeah.
like being a supportive ally is one thing, and I do think that we really need strong allyship, but when you bring in like a straight person to speak at an LGBTQ plus panel, I feel like the inevitable outcome is going to be that they're speaking over people from the affected community.
Yeah.
So like it kind of reminds me of like when BTS went to the White House to speak
Yeah.
about the hate that
Like,
Asian
stop
Americans
Asian hate,
face.
yeah.
I was like, just like that idea of handing an opportunity to somebody outside of the community is something that I feel like happens with minorities all the time. So
Yeah,
that's the part of it that I
definitely.
was like weird about, not so much any of his
100%
comments.
they chose Nanon because probably he had the time right then, and because he came off of one of the biggest BLs.
Yeah.
Like if this
Yeah.
was last year,
Popularity.
they would have put Bright or Win or something on that panel.
Probably.
I'm just imagining it.
So
Yeah, it's just another thing. And like I totally agree. Like I think we were talking about it in the Discord server and I feel like that was the main consensus is like why Nanon out of all the people and like you said, it's nothing to do with him. Like I'm not mad that he went because it was a job that he was offered and obviously he was gonna take it and he did his best with being on a panel that might have been a little bit out of his depth and trying to get his points across in the best way he could. And obviously things got picked up out of that conversation that the fandom got a hold of and as they always do, it kind of blew up. But yeah, I definitely think there were, especially like with P.O.F. was there and the other hosts that were there were all part of the community as far as I knew. So yeah, I just kind of feel like Nanon was kind of like an add-on for the sake of bringing in the viewership type situation.
Yeah, maybe they hoped he
Yeah.
would bring in the viewership and the other people would be like the representation.
Yeah.
But at the same time, now because of this, the focus on that panel is way off.
Yeah, I don't even. That's
Yeah.
what, I don't
Yeah.
even know what else happened at the panel aside from
Yeah.
those two things about Nanon that came out. So it's it kind of the focus
it
of
ruined the whole panel. Now no one is talking about what actually was what it was about, what they
Yeah.
were talking about. Everyone is just focused on Nanon and if he's homophobe or not.
yeah.
Which is just, I don't know. I feel like Nanon has been so vocal in support of the LGBTQ plus community, even if he is not a part of it. So I don't know. Homophobia, like we said, is definitely a bit of a stretch for mistranslated comments.
I'm so baffled about how the internet can not see nuance and context. It's like the world we're living in just forgot what nuance is. And
Yeah.
it's just like taking everything out of context, everything out of like not thinking about nuance for anything and just like taking it literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's exhausting.
Pretty much.
Yeah, it is exhausting.
Okay, let's talk about some more fun fan stuff.
Fun fan stuff, yes.
So, with any fandom, you'll come across content made by fans for fans, and the BL fandom is no different. Whether it's fan fiction of your favorite pairing or art inspired by your favorite series, we'll be touching on everything the world of fan-made content has to offer. So, why do fans create this content?
I mean, honestly, I think it all stems down to like a deep love for whatever you're creating content for. Whatever reasons you may have gotten attached to it, you know, you feel such a connection to it that you want to take the world of the show or movie it is like beyond the TV screen and bring it into writing and art and gifts or whatever you may be making. And even when it's stuff like fix and you're trying to like fix whatever they messed up in the show, I feel like even that comes from like loving the show so much that you're so upset that things went wrong that you had to fix it. So I feel like it all just comes down to like a deep love of that media.
For me, every like fan-made content that I've made personal, like fan fictions or whatever, it's always come from being like deeply inspired by whatever I was watching or the person, or it's like having a muse sort of thing.
Yeah.
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 That's really what it's like.
Yeah. I definitely feel that like you are so inspired to create something that you have to like sit down and take the time to like get it out of you. And like there's plenty of stuff where I watch where I'm like, yeah, this is nice, but like I'll just leave it where it is. And then there's other shows where I'll watch it and I'll sit there and I'll, after I finish the episode, spend 2 hours making GIFs or something like that. And it's just like the show and the emotions and everything just brings so much out of you that you have to put it elsewhere to kind of really express that.
Yeah, and it's like if you're already a creative person who like enjoys writing or drawing, it's like why not bring your own touch to something that you love?
Yeah. And it is a way to connect to other fans as well. If you're not in like general sense, if you're sort of an introvert, like starting conversations with people is super hard. Like, what do you like? Even if you like the same things, it's very hard to reach out to people and actually have like the back and forth. So having like something you can share with others, and you can like with fan fictions as an example, like I can write something and share it with people and get feedback, and I can read other people's stuff, and it sort of creates a back and forth without the actually just talking.
Yeah,
You know what I
having
mean?
to like start the conversation organically. Yeah, and there's definitely something to be said for being able to like connect over a piece of art, even in like online spaces. You know, you think it'd be easier because you don't necessarily have that face-to-face element that comes with other social interaction. But I feel like we've kind of talked about before how like when you're, especially if you're first getting into like a new fandom space, it can feel very intimidating, and a lot of these spaces are very cliquey and like you don't really know where to start. So I think if you're able to like put a piece of art out there and put it under like some fandom hashtags and kind of grow an audience and attract people and kind of start discussion with them that way, it's like a nice way to like kind of establish yourself within a fandom if you're looking to get into one.
Yeah, definitely. So there are many types of fan-made content. The BL fans who create edits for shows, fan art of characters, and even their own takes on merchandise. So we do have like a list of types of creators you can find within the BL space. I think one of the most like popular ones are the video editors.
Yeah.
Like you have Cold Ties, Exitail, Rosanana 87, no 407. Sorry, Dreamy 234.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool, especially with fan edits, is I feel like they mainly used to exist on YouTube, but now, especially there's a lot of fan edits on TikTok, there's a lot of TikTok fan editors, there's a lot that just pop up on Twitter and Instagram. I think like the more a lot of these platforms are starting to push like video content, you're starting to see a lot of video editors come out in like different formats. Like, you know, I'm used to like, you take someone like Cold Ties, a lot of their traditional edits are like 3 minutes long and they're to a music video, but then you can find something on TikTok that's like 15 seconds long with like a sped up version of a song, and it can still like evoke the same emotions, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I am so impressed by the talent of these people. Like it's insane. I remember the first time I saw a Cold Ties video, I was just like floored. She is amazing.
Yeah.
And can I just mention, like every time I see the username, I read Cold Titties. I cannot stop doing it. I have to like catch myself each time. Sorry.
That's funny.
I don't
There's
know
also, like-
why, but yeah. Go ahead.
There's also like there was on Twitter specifically the rise of those kind of fan cam edits that started with like K-pop fan cams, but then they kind of transitioned into all media. So now people like Cold Ties makes them for shows, and people refer to them sometimes as fan cams, but really it's just like a video edit.
Drop in a fan cam and someone's replies. Fan cam and K-pop video edit culture has definitely bled over a lot into BL fan edit culture for sure.
Definitely. So we also have a lot of fan artists, and those are the people who are just like drawing, basically, if it's hand drawn or digital drawn, or there are a lot of usernames that I like. I will butcher if I try to say them all. But we will definitely like make a list in the description on so everyone can check out which ones at least we know about that we've had good experiences with and really enjoy. I mean, especially like for us, Lao is amazing. She's like she listens to the podcast. She's on our Discord. We've bought stuff from her before.
Hey.
We love her. Hi, Lao.
You can't see it, but literally my entire desk background is just her art. Like, solely her art.
Yeah, I have so much, and I haven't put it up yet at my new apartment, but I've spent so much on like her Bad Buddy art, and she's been putting out a lot of Kim Porsche art and a lot of Kim Porsche edits. It was really funny because she sent like we have a channel on our server for people to send their art and art that they find, and she sent one of her pieces in there, and someone else was like, oh, I just saw that on TikTok and followed you because of that edit. And it's like, yeah, it's just like really cool how
I have
cool
these
to see.
stickers on my phone.
Oh, her semantic error stickers. Yeah.
Oh, on the phone.
Yes.
So you can see that we're fans of her art style and the stuff that she puts out. But yeah, there's so many good content creators out there. From like I know KR Centik is a big person on
pins.
I bought their Bad Buddy pins.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love pins.
And it's just like so cool to me how like you can like designing something that's gonna be so small and like pin form and like still getting all of those like intricate details in there. And it's the same with like stickers too. Like they're gonna be so small, just like a couple inches, and like to get all that in like such a detailed format, it's just like, oh, I can never.
Yeah. I have to tell people that if you're gonna buy stuff, make sure you're actually buying it from the creator, because there's a lot of scams out there. They are stealing artwork and putting it up on like even like places like Etsy and Redbubble. Is that, just do
it's
some
easy to just
research.
like take a logo or like something like that and slap it on a t-shirt design on Redbubble.
The best way to figure out if it's actually the artist is search up their social media, because they all have social media if they're actually artists. So
and there will be a link to their direct site in there.
Yeah. And you have like full-time artists that start doing fan art because they just watched BL and got so engrossed. Like we talked recently.
Spoiler alert, we will be talking.
We email to Terry, who is a full-time illustrator.
Yeah, he has like Marvel comics. He has like comics under Marvel, and he's like working on a TV show. And like he recently like fell down the BL rabbit hole and has been creating this like incredible like BL fan art. Just because like he's been so into like the fandom now that like he's like taking time to like create the art and put it out there, and he sent so much of it to us like via email, and it's just amazing. So good.
Oh, did you see the Pandaline logo he did?
Oh, I did not.
It's so cute.
I'm like,
it's
perfect
like
to like hire that man
like
and like
white dandelion seed, like how they are when they sort of the dandelion
when they're like white and fluffy.
And he had like a lion's face in the middle, and it was
really cute. Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, and people should also, like, we do have a merch store with art you can buy, and the art has been commissioned through an actual artist, Maria Media. So it's not stolen.
She's amazing. She's a really cool. She's a Filipino artist. She's part of the LGBTQ community. She has a lot of like lesbian comics. And like web comics that she does, and they're really good. But yeah, she's really cool, and she's a lot of cool art out there. And
if you like ghosts, her comic is
lesbian ghosts. If that's your thing, then you should definitely check out her comics. Yeah, she's really awesome.
Yeah, she made all the merch for us so far, and she's so good, and like working with her is just a joy.
Should check out our merch if you're interested in seeing what it looks like.
What's the address of the site again? LoveCastPodcast.com, right?
Yeah, that's the merch site is LoveCastPodcast.com.
Yes. Check it out. So there are also many gift makers on Tumblr. I do not know about Tumblr. Like, I have literally been on the site once. I am too old for Tumblr. I don't know.
Yeah.
Tumblr was my spot.
I don't think it was like big in Norway for some reason. Like it culturally just didn't hit here. So I before I met Alexa, I didn't know what Tumblr was.
That's crazy to hear.
Yeah, I've been on that site for so long. I think I was like 14 when I first found Tumblr, and like I was like on my angsty teen girl shit then. So it was like a very different side of Tumblr, but I am very much like in like content creator Tumblr now, because I do make a lot of GIFs for like K-dramas and some BL sometimes if I'm feeling compelled. But yeah, I mean, I'm not even very good at it, but like I spend like an hour or two like making like one set of GIFs, and like some of these people have like such intricate coloring and text and like all these different layers coming in, and like Photoshop is confusing. So like I can only imagine the people that know how to work it better than I do, like how much time they put into stuff. But yeah, there's some really amazing like GIFs and edits and that kind of stuff out there that are on Tumblr. So
I'm
think it's a
always
really good place
amazed
for
by
art.
how people can catch like the exact like seconds that like can show so much.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the memorable ones.
yeah. Oh my god, the amount of like Kin Porsche gifts and stuff that have been going around lately is like there's some really cool stuff out there. So yeah, it's a really cool side of the fandom. It's a smaller side of like definitely BL fandom. It's definitely smaller on Tumblr than someplace like Twitter or TikTok and stuff like that. But there's a cool little niche of people on there that are making content.
Awesome. And we can't forget like reactors. People would probably, some would probably argue if reacting is fan-made content or not, but the amount of time you need to put into reacting and the editing and everything, like, yes, it definitely takes time, it's work, and you need a certain like skill set to do it.
Yeah.
So
I like don't think people realize how much goes into like sitting there and like consciously making the effort to speak your reactions out loud, because like if I'm it's very rare that I will have like an out loud reaction to like watching a drama, and so like if I was filming myself I would just be like staring at the screen and maybe I'd smile once or twice, but like to like remind yourself to speak your thoughts out loud and then like elaborate on them and stuff like that, I can't like it takes so much time and like so much goes into it. Kayla has some experience with it.
Yeah, can I just say, like, this reminds me of, like, you know the TikToks where people are just, like, duetting and just sitting there and, like, not saying a word.
And they just, like, will, like, laugh.
It annoys me. Like, all hell, why are you even... That's not making content at
That's
all.
not even a reaction. Like, you're just filming your... Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like
It's not
reacting
even a
to something...
right?
And filming yourself just watching something feel like two different things. Because like a reaction entails like you're actually showing some reaction to what you're watching.
It feels very narcissistic that they want to see their face besides what that
Sometimes
actual
it's just
video
like
is
half of their face, just like they're just like watching it, and then that's the
just
video.
A lot of the time there's
chasing,
no
and I hate
audio
it.
or anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them actually makes something out of it, but like 90% of it is just bullshit, and please stop doing it because it's annoying. Let the original video get the views. Thank you.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, so some big reactors that like we know is Revel, Alex. How do you say
Shaki, I think.
Shaki?
I'm not entirely sure. I'm sorry if I sure did.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I cannot say things. Jordy and Javi.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just like double checking in my mind. Am I saying this right? And obviously Kayla, who has the reactions videos. And for those who don't know, she has like a whole reaction series for Kin Porsche on our Patreon. So if you want to check that out, she's put a lot of work into it, and it's so funny.
They did all 14 episodes. They deserve your views.
Yes.
Ooh. It's a lot. It's like, I feel like a big thing with reaction videos is that when you're sitting there, you have to keep thinking to yourself, anything that comes to your mind, just say it. Like, literally anything, even if it doesn't make sense, you could just make it into a little comedic moment. So yeah, definitely a lot goes into it. So I would say that between filming it, being in the mindset where you're giving commentary and editing, it definitely is content creation.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the, like, it has a lot to do with the editing as well. Like, if you just, like, put up the video without the editing, it's
boring.
Yeah, right? It feels
it's boring for me, too,
half-assed.
if I don't.
Yeah, right? Ugh, like, I would love to do reacting, even though I don't think I could do it because like I think about great things like in half an hour after I watch something.
No, me too.
So, but the thing that makes me not want to try is the editing because I've edited a lot of stuff, especially like audio stuff, and it's so time consuming.
Yeah.
Like,
I have no editing skills whatsoever.
Yes. So going off like the whole TikTok thing, there are also TikTok creators, obviously. We do. Oh, sorry, that was my dog closing the door. So we do have a TikTok, if you didn't know. So
Plugging everything.
It's just a plug episode.
Heather's like living her best life with us doing all of this promotion.
So we do TikTok, and like it's
Try and
very
get
random.
in on some of the trends. You know.
Yeah, and sometimes it's just like small clips from the episodes or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's a great way to find out if you want to watch an episode because you'll get like small clips for it. Yeah.
Some of our better moments.
And obviously you can find Paris on TikTok, and we love Paris. Paris is amazing. Her ad is WTH Mong.
What the Mong? Yeah.
The Mong. And yeah, there's a lot of BL creators on TikTok. Like there's a huge ass community on there.
There's so many commentary communities, editing, people who do editings, people who do like trends and all this kind of stuff.
Commentary.
Like, yeah, BL TikTok is huge right now, and
there's like
it's a lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah, there's like a whole section just for like drama, like BL drama, like people just talking about all the drama.
Oh
happening.
yeah, people who talk about drama. I'll tell you my least favorite. Let me gather my thoughts because I was trying to say like 3 different words there. My least favorite side of BL TikTok, similar to the people who will just like duet a video and like look at themselves watching it. There's this like genre of, and it's not even just BL TikTok, but there's this drama of TikTok where people will just put a tweet up on the screen, a tweet that they didn't even make, and just laugh at it, and it gets like 100,000 views, and I'm like, you didn't even like write the tweet. Yeah, it's like you're just putting it, like you didn't even write the tweet.
Fuck.
The pointing, that's the it's really corny.
And they're like this, and I'm like, what? But I've seen it's been so much on my For You page with like BLs, especially like kin Porsche tweets. It's just like someone's kin Porsche tweet, and then they're just like ha 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 pointing at it, and I'm like, why?
So funny.
Just let the original tweet like go.
Oh, there's so much, like there's a lot of good stuff on TikTok, but there's so much like lazy stuff. Like some people shouldn't be allowed to create stuff. Like create.
It's honestly almost like profiting off of other people's content at that point, and that's kind of like that's kind of like where I'm like, if you're not gonna add anything new and original, then you're just taking something that someone else did that was already funny.
It's plagiarizing.
Yeah, basically. And adding nothing to it, and you're gaining all the views from it. So it's like.
Like in the future, I think they are gonna like have proper laws against this. It's just like the laws haven't caught up to the technology.
It's such a new part of the internet and content creation.
Yeah.
That's our TikTok rant for today.
Yes. Next stop is podcasters like us.
Us.
So there are other BL podcasts out there.
There are other BL podcasts
there are
out there.
Others not as important or good, but no, I'm just kidding. You know. So we did a collab with the Hottie podcast. He started pretty recently. You guys were on it. You should probably talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, he does a lot of cool, like, a lot of series reviews, I think, is his big focus. So if you like recapping shows and just kind of getting into the nitty gritty of them, he's had a couple different BL content creators. I know he did an episode with Jordy, he's done an episode with Paris, we've done an episode with him. So they definitely think he's trying to, like, make his way into the BL content creation community, and it was really fun. So yeah, if you like series review type stuff, I think it'll be a good podcast. Especially because we do series reviews, but no, actually we do series reviews. We're on our Patreon, so like if you're interested in series reviews from us, but you know, we don't do them every single episode. So if you're really interested in like series reviews as a whole, I think that's a good podcast to tune into.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he doesn't like ask interesting people on to talk with him, and just he does have a personality, and it's like it's always fun to watch.
A lot of energy.
Yeah.
There's a lot of yaoi podcasts out there. So like there's definitely not as many in the live action BL sphere, but there's like if you're interested in like the manga, 2D yaoi side of things, there's like so many. We follow so many. We've had collabs with a couple, like Amanda from the Yaoi Shelf. But there's so many like yaoi podcasts and like general anime and shipping like 2D shipping podcasts and that kind of thing. So if you're interested in that side of thing, I think you'll be able to find plenty.
Yeah. It's easy. Like, and if you go on like podcast platforms and search for BL live action podcasts, there is a lot that will pop up, but you'll notice a lot of them just have a couple of episodes, and it's like from 1 year, 2 years ago. Like, they start them and just don't follow through. So
which is hard to keep up with the podcast, which I totally get it. But it does kind of suck if you're like looking for new content that and then like you find a podcast and you're so excited and you see they only have like 1 or 2 episodes. There's another one. Go ahead, Pixie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, there are also some BL podcasts that are in other languages, like what's the one do they do Portuguese?
The Dream, I think it's Dream PLT.
Dream BL?
Yeah, Dream BLT. Dream BLPT. They have a podcast and they do series reviews in Portuguese. There's another one that I found recently that's called BL Can't Save You But, and then it's like a dot. And they're pretty active. I think they do episodes like once a month or something along those lines, and they're more in the live action sphere of things. So they're definitely starting to pop up more, I think.
And there's also the Together podcast. I was a guest on one of the episodes. Obviously, when you hear about like a Together podcast, it like they talked a lot about Together, like, but there's no more Together. So, but they're still active. So, and really nice people, have a lot of good stuff to say, and and I think they had some interviews on there, like, I think they have like 3 podcasts or something, like different like shows within the same podcast. So they've done interviews with like they did an interview with the director of Love Mechanic.
Lit?
Lit, yeah. They have an interview with him from a little way back.
Yeah.
So
I have a lot of respect for people who can do like multiple podcasts at once for like different things, because I'm like, this podcast is like, it takes up all of my brain space, so like I can't imagine trying to like separate like different podcasts that are like all themed differently. Like that takes so much effort, I feel like, and I have a lot of respect for people who do that.
Yeah, especially when you're doing like every week. Like I'm amazed that we can even get this done like every week. And we've been doing this for 1.5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Go us.
Another one from the list is BLHQ. I haven't heard about them.
Oh, they're currently deep diving into Heaven's official blessing. That was cool.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with them, but
Nice. I mean, like, there's a big fandom, like, still in Heaven's official blessing, and all those. Like, even the books are coming out now in official translations, so a lot of people are talking about them. The covers of those are so nice.
yeah, it's really pretty cover art.
And there's a lot to do to dissect.
Yeah, so there's so much in that world. I've that's partially why I've never dived into it, because it is just very intimidating world to get into.
Another category is our like fan fiction writers, authors. There are a lot out there. We'll put some recommendations in the description for some. Like there's so much. Like whenever I read a fan fiction, I have so many like marked that I cannot even remember which one I'm like which ones I'm like liked and not liked, and like I've been reading too much.
I'm like surprisingly not a big. I go like through bursts with fan fiction. Like I like reading a lot of one shots and one off like little short series, because it's hard for me to get into like a really long like 100K like that type of fan fiction. But every once in a while I'll come across like, I was really into Yuri on Ice fan fiction, and I still have like a bunch of Yuri on Ice fan fictions in my bookmarks. I was really into Ram King fan fiction after I finished My Engineer, because like I wanted like a fix it happy ending for them.
Story.
So I love there's some good Ram King fics out there, and some good Ram King fic
my
writers.
response to Ram King from the series, and I actually read the books too. My response to that was to actually write. Like I'm just like, this is what should happen. I didn't put it out anywhere.
Sometimes I was going to say, Pixie, drop your Ram King fic.
No.
I'll read it.
Sometimes I just like get like my mind just get occupied with like a story, and I have to write it, or else I'll like lay at night thinking about it to the point where I'll start dreaming about it.
You gotta get it out,
That's happened to me,
I
never fully delved
like,
into
back.
I never fully delved into BL fanfic. I think, I don't know, I don't really read fanfic anymore. I was just really into the K-pop fanfic. And that's where I resided.
Same. I did a lot of Harry Potter fanfic and BTS fanfic. Yes.
Yeah. I
self-insert.
He used to have a whole. There was like a website called like JustinBieberFanfic.net or something. I tried to go back and find it, but the website is like dead and gone. But like I had like multiple stories. And that was my first and only dabble into writing fan fiction.
That's so funny. Like not the part where you're actually like writing. Not that.
But that it was Justin Bieber fan fiction.
There being a website just for Justin Bieber fanfic is killing me.
There are some really popular fanfics on there.
That is crazy. Like I thought like mine were embarrassing.
Oh, that has to be cackling. That's
like the best thing that's ever happened on this podcast. Oh my god. Oh,
you're welcome. Now you guys know my most embarrassing secret. Alexa of the past.
Oh, I'm literally crying.
Heather says she used to write My Chemical Romance fanfic. I feel like my younger sibling would have been into reading that because they're a big My Chemical Romance fan.
Yeah,
Was it like shipping the members? Is that like maybe
Maybe.
maybe dot dot dot.
Oh, that's
Oh
funny.
my god.
Oh,
Yes. So in the same sort of same genre, you have Twitter, alternate universe.
yeah.
Threads.
I'm a sucker for Twitter AUs. I think because they take less brain power than like reading an actual fanfic, and it's a lot of them are just like screenshots of like texts and different like social media posts and stuff like that. I love Twitter AUs. I was big into K-pop Twitter AUs. I've read some of the BL ones. Like
Yeah. We do know like there are actual art authors who started out as like just Twitter writers.
Oh,
We
right.
will not
I
name
was gonna-
the person
yeah.
because we do not like condone his
forgot.
actions.
Yeah, I took me a second to remember who it was, but
Yeah, I was just like, am I gonna say this? But like, it's sort of interesting. Like the whole story of how he became an author is sort of interesting, even though he's an less than nice.
We're not vibing anymore.
I was gonna say asshole, but I'm just like, okay, that's maybe a little bit harsh, but at the same time, it's how I feel.
Pixie. But yeah, I think there's definitely some Twitter AUs out there that could be series worthy that I've read. There's some. Oh my god, I used to be really into 101 fictions. Kang Daniel and Ong Sung Woo were like the big 101 ship. There were some great Twitter AUs out there for them. I could see some of those being TV shows.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
was into
this is just me exposing myself.
I made like 2-3.5 NCT AUs.
Oh, everyone
With
go
the-
find them on Twitter.
Not on my main account, but yeah.
Oh.
I do like on my not main account, on my like BTS Stan Twitter account. I do follow like some writers that usually do like just short like one shots sort of that are a bit raunchy. I do not like it's the build up. It's the build up. You don't actually need to know what happened, but it's the build up, and it's just like, ooh, some of these people are really good at saying a lot in
And like a 140
so many
character tweet
words.
or whatever it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, and if you really want to read stuff like that, it's pretty easy to actually find by just searching hashtags, usually around, like if there's a special like BL couple or a series you want to find these type of threads for, just
If you
search
search
the hashtag for the
And
show.
like AU afterwards or something like that.
Yeah.
You'll get like
Yeah.
a bunch of threads popping up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, easy to find. So, in other news, so there are a little bit, like this hasn't actually happened before in our baby industry. Beyond Cloud recently made a statement prohibiting fans from earning profit of in Porsche by selling fan-made merchandise. We might think this is because of a fake Oppo fan club account that's been selling t-shirts and claiming they're official goods.
Yeah.
So-
I went on their Instagram and they still have the website up where they're like selling
Wow.
shirts.
Oh my
so
God.
I don't know how they're getting away with it.
That's insane. I think it's really hard to go after people that are selling fake goods. I think it's super, like I hear like small artists on Twitter all the time complaining like they have so much issue getting their stuff like reclaimed, like people on like Alibaba and stuff like that taking their art and selling it, and they can't get it taken down because it's so hard, even though they are in the right with the copyright.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this might be like a growing thing. Like this might be the future. I can see if this is successful for Beyond Cloud, you bet your ass GMMTV is gonna come in here soon.
Oh God.
Yeah.
GMMTV is trying to make a profit off of everything. So if they have an opportunity to stop someone else from making any
As
type
long
of
as
profit,
it's easy to do, easy profit, yes,
yeah.
they will do.
Now, there's like this. I don't know if we know, but like, does this differentiate between someone who's doing like a hand painted drawing and someone who's like taking like the Beyond Cloud logo and slapping it on a T-shirt and calling that like official goods or putting that on
Yeah.
Redbubble? Because I can see
So
that
vague.
like. Yeah, if you're I can see that being an issue if you're taking like an official logo or series logo and putting it on a T-shirt and putting it on Redbubble. But like if it's someone who's creating their own like hand-drawn art of a character or
Yeah.
something, then like that shouldn't be an
Completely
issue.
different, yeah.
But I guess if it's like we don't
Yeah.
really know how they're going about it yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard to like know where to draw the line. I know like in countries like Japan where laws are really strict around this, like is this like the future for everyone? Because I like hear from people who have to deal with Japan's laws, and it's just insane. There's like back in the like 50 years in the past with these laws, so it's interesting to see if it's gonna affect something or if it's gonna be make things worse or better, if it's gonna like push for better laws. But at the same time, BL is still such a small thing that anything happening in the BL sphere is not gonna really affect the outside world. I sometimes like have a really hard time like thinking that BL is a small thing, because when you're in it, it kind of feels huge.
Exactly.
But like, it's really small still.
Yeah, in the grand scheme of things, it's such a small community.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there would be a lot of loopholes for like artists, for example. Like I was talking about this with Lau because they were going to put out their Kin Porsche collection of like drawings and stuff for people to buy. And we were just saying, like, I don't think they're going to be able to go after small creators or international creators, because then you have to take the laws of that place into account as well.
Yeah.
And I just feel like if you like title things a certain way and you don't like use the name, I think you could get around it.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I think that the huge thing here is just not take the actual graphics of the series or whatever and put that on things, and also not mark it as official goods.
Yeah.
Because obviously that's the problem here. Like someone's profiting off of lying.
Yeah, calling them official goods when they're not. That's a big thing, yeah.
Yeah.
So, to round it off, I thought like we should talk a little bit about BL actors reacting to fan-made content. Some BL actors have even acknowledged fans' art and shared the fan art on their social media. But what really stood out to me about this topic, first thing I thought of was a fan of Mew Golf painted a portrait of Golf with a bathrobe hanging off his shoulders and gifted it to Mew for his birthday. Like framed it and gifted it. Like it's huge.
Yeah. When I looked
like
it
a whole
up
ass
again,
painting.
yeah, when I looked it up again, I could not believe that someone did that. But also, I saw other posts of fans gifting Mew Golf fan art to Mew for his birthday.
Oh my god.
Like in present
Poor
time.
Mew. Poor Mew. Like seriously. I mean, this is where like there's a gray line. Like there's a gray line, and we've all been like stepping on the line and just balancing and having fun. And some people just decide to jump off on the wrong end.
Right on over the line.
Like what the fuck?
I'm so, but like, can you imagine like all of the like incredible like the art of that piece was like incredible. Like I
Yeah,
can't
it's
deny that. Like the
really
person is so
good.
talented. But like why couldn't it have just been a painting of Mew himself? Like why did you have to be weird and make it into the whole Mew golf agenda by gifting him a half naked picture of golf? Like what was the logic there?
And even if
There
it
was
was like a
none.
couple like thing, I would kind of like, okay,
Yeah,
they were a
it's
real
still a
couple.
little
It
bit
would have
like,
been a
huh.
nice
True.
memory for Mew, maybe from his acting days. But you have to like gift him with a naked golf. What the fuck?
Yeah, and like the sexual like innuendo that comes with that is like, and that's like a real person that golf is slash was friends with in real life at one point. So like it's so weird. Like what do you think he's gonna do with that? Like hang it up above his bed?
Imagine having the picture of one of your friends hanging, like a naked, half naked friend hanging on your, like painted naked friend hanging in your house. Like how fucked up is that?
Oh my god.
Like even if it was your partner, like that's weird.
It's
Yeah.
one thing like yeah, if like
Someone
I don't
else
even
just
know.
painted how they think your partner would look.
yeah,
and-
that's
and
weird.
Gave
like,
it to you. Yeah, it's super weird. Like even if you're like trying to excuse it somehow, there's no excuse. It's it's so you're stepping over the line. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, it probably made things awkward between them because I assume Golf saw it too.
Yeah, like what would be his reaction to that? Like oh, that's so weird.
I just like I would have loved being like a fly on the wall after that happened to me, just to hear what he had to say about it, because like he's very good at keeping a straight face in public. Like he's very good like at public relations, like not overreacting and doing rash stuff. Like just the whole thing with back in the day with the drama with Art, like he kept like a pretty good face with that whole situation. So he's
Yeah.
good at that stuff. But I really want to know what he actually thought about that.
I guess we'll never know.
I wonder what he did with the painting.
Put it in storage maybe.
A lot of I know a lot of actors like when they get like huge bursts of like birthday gifts, like more than they know what to do with, like they donate a lot of the stuff, but like
But he can't
where
donate.
you can't
like, a
donate something.
half-naked
Yeah,
golf.
you can't donate that. So like where,
No,
where-
but okay, if this, like, no offense, but if this was me, I would have burned it. Like, even if it's really well done, like, props to the artist because they're good, but that's so inappropriate, and it,
Yeah.
like, it can't be on the wall in the house. Like, what the hell are you gonna do it with it in storage? Like, you don't have the
Can you
room.
imagine like one day you're just like moving
You
like
can't
years
give
down
it
the
back to
line
Golf.
and you
Or back, give it to Golf. Like, imagine him just like, hey, Golf, do you want like a half-naked picture of yourself? Like, what are you supposed to do with that?
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Yeah, he probably burned it.
What
I'm
a
just
weird
saying.
experience. It's maybe it's just in a landfill somewhere. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, there's lots of great fan art that artists
Yes.
have seen of themselves and their
Yes.
characters and stuff. So
I love watching on Twitter and stuff and IG like art like BL actors reposting or stuff that they've come across, artist stuff. Like there's a lot of them that's posted a lot.
yeah, yeah.
Especially in the what do you call it, the IG thing,
IG stories.
stories. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really cool. I can imagine because you like it's such a gamble. I feel like when you put art out there and like you're using the artist hashtags and you're tagging them, like I don't think anyone ever does it with the intention of thinking like, oh, this actor is gonna see this and it's gonna be like. I mean, it's a hope, but like I'm sure the expectation that it would actually happen is not ever super high. So I feel like when that actually does happen and you like get the little notification that like this person added your thing to their story, I feel like that must be such a cool feeling.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens for us, like when artists like will repost, like we don't even make original art. We just like we'll post pictures on our stories and tag them and put some commentary, and sometimes they'll repost that, and that's like a cool thing. So to imagine them seeing like your original art that you put so much time and effort into, it must be a really cool feeling.
It must. Like, it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
But even like you're not expecting it, so it's especially like really good feeling.
Yeah. That happens more often than we know. I mean, I can imagine we know actors are like in their tags and stuff, like searching under their hashtags, so I'm sure they see a lot more of the art than people even realize.
I really loved when I heard that Becky asked fans to make edits with Taylor Swift songs when
That's
Cap the
cute.
series begins airing. Like, that is the cutest ever.
That's so cute. Oh my gosh, she's gonna be flooded with edits, and she's probably gonna be living her best life watching them all.
Yes.
Yeah, like Gap does, like, they have like an insane following. Like, a lot of people are waiting for this.
Yes, me included.
Yes, I am one of those people. I will be watching. I won't make any Taylor Swift edits, but I will be watching.
Same. Yeah, it's gonna be exciting. No, I love that, like, you have just BL actors coming out and just like asking for shit. It's awesome.
I mean, if you know you have a fan base and there's something you want to see, like you know they're gonna do it for you. So like, why not like let them make you art? Because I'm sure it makes them happy too.
We'll turn into LoveCast, the GL podcast once the Gap airs.
Yes.
Special episode. Yeah, and there's a lot of BL actors that are content creators as well.
A lot of them do
is-
YouTube content.
Yeah, which is super interesting. Like, especially like Perth, because he's really like embraced the BL culture and has done a lot of videos explaining stuff that happens in BLs. He did like the reaction videos for Ram King.
There's another one coming. There's a third one coming at some point. He's filmed it with Talay, but I think he said on stream he just hasn't had time to edit because he's a fan of himself. He said a lot on stream that he actually sees a lot of like the TikTok edits and stuff that people do of him, and like he's like he wants to get in on like the TikTok edit game, because he's like, well, if they're already editing, if the content's already out there, I might as well make the edits myself. So we might see Perth BL TikTok edit era coming soon.
Yeah. And I sort of miss Pavel's content.
I really do.
Like, literally after like our first interview with Pavel, I am such a fan. You have no idea. He has like his personality, and like he's so nice. Yeah, and it didn't really come off when I first watched his YouTube videos. He came off as a little bit strong, but after like knowing, like talking to him and like knowing how he actually is, like I really started enjoying his content.
Yeah, I like him a lot. I would love to see more. There's so many people who I'm like waiting. Like, you know, a lot of them start YouTube channels and then like obviously they get really busy, and so like they can't keep up with them or post that often. But there's so many people whose content I'm like, I want you to start making YouTube videos again. But at the same time, I know you're a very busy person, so I can't expect it.
Yep.
But that's like Heather said, cough, pan, cough. That's exactly who I had in mind, but I was like, do I say it?
And also,
we need more.
He needs to go back and English sub some of his videos, because a lot of them don't have English subtitles.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Come on, Pan.
Also, I have a lot of respect for people with subtitles because that's a pain in the ass. Just saying.
It takes forever.
We are asking you to put subtitles on lovingly because we know it takes a lot of time. I would like to see more beatboxing harmonica content from Pan on YouTube. So, like, come on, buddy.
Yeah, like, even just start, like, a TikTok and do it there. Like,
Yeah.
small videos. Like, we just need more Pan.
The world needs more Pan. I agree.
Yeah.
We'll have to, actually, never mind.
I will forever, like, be, like, his slave after him congratulating me on my birthday.
I thought you were going to say fan. You took it like a whole different direction.
Yeah, fan wasn't strong enough.
Oh. Oh,
I don't even know how to respond to that.
I mean, if you're a stan, aren't you, like, really just a slave? You know the Britney song?
It's a slave
Yes.
for you. Yeah, that's Pixie with Pan. I mean, honestly, we owe him after everything he's done for the podcast. So if he needs me to be a slave, what choice do I have? Hopefully he does not watch this.
Let's go.
Moving forward.
Silent. I won't say anything.
Yeah, we know, Kayla. We know.
We know. I know.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Do you guys have anything else you want to add on to?
All of my thoughts have gone out the window.
I'm too shocked.
It's a nice place to stop. Fave fan stuff you've seen.
Oh. Let me think.
I am just like really obsessed with Cold Ties. Like from the first time I saw her videos, I just like every video she puts out is just like mwah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do love her edits. I
I
have to. Go
I'm
ahead,
trying to
Kayla.
think. Oh, I keep losing my train of thought after what we just discussed.
What was that?
but I loved whenever, and this is me bringing up this scene again, but I love whenever the rainbow pride flag moment happened in Not Me, and all the artists drew their own take of it in their own style. That was so cool. Whenever one scene in a show gets picked up and everyone like draws that scene. It's cool.
And you see all the different interpretations of it. Yeah. I feel like I have to plug. I plug this so much everywhere, but it's my favorite Ram King fan fiction. It's called Cool Boyfriends, and it's by the author is Hyacinth's Soul on AO3. It's not super long. I think it's like 60K words, but it's just like kind of like a post what happened in My Engineer. Not necessarily fix it fic, but just kind of like natural progression of like their relationship. And it's one of the best things I've ever read, and it's so good. I said, I'm not a big fan fiction person, but that's one of the ones that like has stuck with me for ever since I've read it after watching My Engineer.
Yeah, and one thing we didn't mention in this episode, there are also a lot of memes.
Yeah.
And one of my recent favorites is like the I don't know if you can call it a meme, like the picture with Yoon when he has that crazy face.
Oh,
You know what I'm talking about?
From Unforgotten Night. Yoon's BDSM face. Yeah.
I mean, that's the creepiest.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I feel like within the the context of our podcast and our listeners, Yoon as a whole has just kind of like become a meme. Just like, it's like, we love you, Yoon. Yes. Thank you for the laughs that you provide for us.
It's the bottom of our iceberg.
That's deep LoveCast lore. The Yoon as an industry plant is deep LoveCast lore.
Oh my god, I can't remember the first time we mentioned it, but it was like a long time ago.
Bring that poor man up so often.
Yep. It's all good.
Yep.
Okay, so, and that's it for our episode this week. What type of fan-made content do you like to engage with? Do you have any favorite creators? Leave a comment down below or over on our social media. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review wherever you listen to your podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Sharing this episode with your friends really helps us out. Thanks for joining for this week's episode, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
He might just suddenly bark. I don't know. Like when he gets bored and I'm not giving him attention, he'll just like start whining and barking.
Yeah.